Test.
Winnie usually puts it so it's almost right on my nose.
So, historically, was the mascot the two-headed Caesar?
It should be good. So I
My
don't want
kids
people
were discussing
home
this. I had no
complaining
idea
again.
if there was it was true or if they just had their own.
We will be. I'll just like feel.
Okay.
I feel like I still have to buy stuff. I'm very light on it. I don't have that much for my husband either.
Maybe it was just the design of it.
Yeah, it could have just been the design, like two zebras who don't have a wall.
I will,
Okay.
but that would be a good idea.
Might be time to
Oh, that's a really good idea.
so we can see.
Oh, it's just-
We're gonna go sit there so we can see that.
All right, that makes sense. I'll do the same place. They're gonna go first, right?
Yes.
We should move.
Maybe that would, well, we're
If he
fine.
says it's gonna be too
You
long.
need to do the president's reporting before.
All right, so then it'll be left, but you can give the, Dirk says I give the president's report first.
Okay.
So then Anthony, you can give the high sign. You sure you don't want the band to go first? Because they look like, Darren looks like he's ready.
To you, it's your meeting, not mine.
Okay, well, I think.
John Mucciolo's words of wisdom to me.
I know. John, what do I say? This is something you should do, not me.
What he said, the Board of Education meeting is not your meeting.
Yes, and I remember when we were trying to hire Matt, and he said, we have to wait an extra week, you go and tell him. Let's see, do we have everybody? I think they should definitely go first.
And I'll introduce him.
Yes. Winnie, are we ready? Great. The board met tonight in executive session. We're now ready to go forward with the public portion of our meeting. And as you can see from the individuals massed behind me, we have a wonderful surprise for tonight, and I will let Dirk do the introductions.
Thank you. This is always like the best meeting of the year when we have the marching band here. This past season, the Glen Ridge Marching Band ran from September through November and included performances at 4 home games, 1 away game, and 8 competitions. It's a lot of weekends. So congratulations to that and your dedication. The band was also honored to participate again in Warm Welcome event at Ridgewood Avenue School, the Fall Pep Rally at the high school, and the Glen Ridge Music Parents Fruit Sale kickoff at the train station. The competitive season culminated with the band defending the 2021 National Championship in MetLife Stadium. On November 5th at U.S. Band's Group 1 Nationals Open Class, the most competitive division, our marching band won the bronze medal. Congratulations. Glen Ridge had its best performance of the year on the turf at MetLife, earning high marks in all musical and visual categories, including a score in visual performance that placed them second in the nation. This accomplishment was especially impressive considering that the 2022 band was made up of 40% new 8th and 9th grade members, thanks to the district's successful 8th grade operation initiative. Congratulations to the band, 2-time national place winners. I'm pleased to introduce their director, Dr. Darren Gage.
And now we should move so we're not quite so close.
Good evening, everyone. Just wanted to make sure before we start our performance to just, first of all, acknowledge our 2 drum makers. So I'd like to have Ellis Kastenmeyer and Andrew Guardiola step forward. Got it. Okay, so we have Ellis Kastenmeyer and Andrew Guardiola, our 2 drum majors. And And we're going to feature a soloist this evening. We're going to feature Avery Kim on the piano. And we weren't able to fit the entire marching band or the entire marching band production here in the media center. There would have been flags flying everywhere and percussion equipment all over the place. So we're just doing a small excerpt that we hope you'll enjoy. It's an arrangement of a portion of Rachmaninoff's Rhapsody on a Theme of Paganini that I arranged for the band as part of our Rhapsody show. The entire show was Rhapsody in Blue, Rhapsody on a Theme of Paganini, Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, and then a return to Rhapsody in Blue at the end. And we had a lot of fun with it. And this was sort of the slower section of the show. And we thought it would work really well here in the Media Center. So we're excited to present this to you. This is the woodwind brass section playing with Avery Kim as a soloist. There are percussion members who are also here, color guard members who are here in attendance, but this will not involve the percussion section or the color guard at this time. But we're honored to share this with you and with the Board of Ed. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
And thank you, every member of the band. I have often said that starting a meeting with the band is the best way to start a meeting, so thank you all. Okay, we will now proceed with our meeting. It is a night full of celebrations, and so we will get started with all of those celebrations. But first, written communications. We had 2 written communications since our last board meeting in November. One was from a parent who preferred to remain anonymous with a question about an HIB allegation that was, she was responded to by administration. And we also had an email from Darius Denard with a request for some testing information, and that was answered by Mr. Phillips. And that is written communications. Board President's report. I want to start with my colleague, Mike DeLue.
Hi, I just want to announce that we, earlier today, this afternoon, we signed a memorandum of agreement with the GREA to settle the teacher's contract. Still needs to be ratified by their membership, but we're very happy about that, and we'll be voting on it tonight as well.
Thank you, and our thanks to the teachers and to the negotiating team. All right, moving on. I want to, before we go further, draw your attention to the recent death of Robert Hayes, Bob Hayes. He was a 62-year member of this community. He was never on the Board of Education, but he was an enormous supporter of the schools. And he was captain of the ambulance squad, and that meant that he mentored so many Glen Ridge students over a long period of time. And so many were influenced by him in positive ways. So please, you know, he said to me once, and I'm sure he's said to many other people, that every Glen Ridge resident should do 3 things. Attend the Christmas tree lighting, and I'm sure now he would add the menorah lighting to that, the Glen Ridge High School graduation, and the Memorial Day parade. So I think, you know, I will think of him when we do all of those things. He was a great asset to this community. So our thoughts and prayers are with his family. I want to give thanks, first of all, to our short-term colleague, Erica Spade. Though Erica has only been with us a short time, her willingness to volunteer for our vacant position and learn more about the board and board service has distinguished her. We hope that, Erica, your interest will continue, and that perhaps someday, voters willing and other things being equal, you will consider joining us for a somewhat longer period of time. So thanks to Erica. Thank you. And Michael, this is your last board meeting with us after, 12 years? Which I'm sure occasionally has seemed like 12 minutes and occasionally has seemed like 12 centuries. There really aren't enough words to praise my colleague, Mike DeLue. He has served wisely and well, and the board and the community are indebted to him for his wisdom, his humor, his common sense, his tenacity, his forbearance, and many other good qualities that are nameless. He has served as vice president of the board. He has been chair of the curriculum committee. He's been chair of our negotiations committee, which has just concluded successful negotiations. He has been invaluable in navigating all the challenges that we've had over the last 12 years. And, you know, he has been part of hiring a superintendent, getting through major construction, getting through COVID, as successfully as any district in this county and more successfully than many districts in this state. He's never lost his sense of fairness and decency and civility, and he's been a model board member. And so I'll miss him terribly. I know all of you will, and you'll have a chance to say that in just a minute. But Michael, we can always reach you by phone, and we will probably be calling you for the benefit of that wisdom. But you will be free on Monday nights, or now Tuesday nights. So thank you, Michael, from the bottom of my heart for your service.
Well, I want to thank everybody. It's been a great pleasure and honor serving with all of you and working with Dirk and Barbara and Winnie and the entire administration and the teachers. It's an amazing district, and it's been my honor and privilege to do a little part of it. And I really appreciate all of the support that everybody's given me. Thank you.
And board members, if you,
Oh, and
this would be
Paula.
the time.
It's been the best.
This would be the time if you'd like to say something also to
And
Michael.
don't feel pressured to do that. So, in also my spirit of efficiency, you don't have to do that. But I really appreciate it. I've loved working with all of you.
Well, could I just say a couple of words?
Sure.
Because I called you on the phone when I was considering running for the board, and I was so grateful for the time. We talked for an hour at least, and I just want to thank you for being so open with me and clearly with everyone, and so positive about everything. And your sense of humor will be missed. I'm sorry I haven't gotten to experience it any longer than I have, but thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Anyone else?
And I'd be remiss, I've enjoyed working with all of you, but I still think that Betsy Ginsburg is a miracle of nature, and I want to thank her for being a mentor and for working and running this board and taking a lot of hits that the rest of us should have been taking over the years, and she's been wonderful and a model board member. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Before we go on, anyone else?
Thank you.
David? Anything? You want to say anything?
Yeah, but I'm not here. I mean, I can
Well,
say.
okay.
But, yeah, I mean, I'll share my thoughts with Michael again, and my anger that he's leaving again in a less public setting. But, yeah, I mean, no one's going to top what you did, what you just said. So, I mean, I think there's really very little I would add. And Michael is all about efficiency, so I would just echo and ditto. So, no need to bore everybody with that.
Okay, we will be all about efficiency. The one thing I wanted to add about going forward, next steps, as you all know, the board is born again every year, and we will be born again on January 4th. So this is the last board meeting for this year in this board. And we reorganize on January 4th, and we'll swear in the newly elected and re-elected members. We'll elect board officers and appoint or reappoint all the board committee and liaison members. So we are looking forward to those challenges. I think maybe we're hoping for a few fewer challenges than we've had in the last few years. But if I forget to do it at the end, I want to wish everybody a happy holiday, a happy new year, and thanks for all of your support of the Glen Ridge Public Schools. And that is the president's report, and I will turn it over to our superintendent.
Thank you. I also want to thank Erica for serving. I know it was a short 2 meetings, but it was a great opportunity to get to know you a little bit, and I hope we get a chance to work together in the future. Mike, I'll try to keep it short. Betsy mentioned some accomplishments that you've had, and I think about the history of this district, and I've been here for almost 30 years, and probably the 2 most challenging periods of time was 2009 when we hit a little financial crisis, the state and the nation, and then that really impacted our schools, and pandemic, and you were a leader in getting us through those times, and our district really was able to forge forward, and that wouldn't happen without your leadership. As a board, this has been a terrific experience from a superintendent's point of view. I've often said to my colleagues that I couldn't have experienced a better opportunity to come in as a new superintendent than the board I was given, and you being one of the main reasons. It's just been very supportive, very insightful, as Betsy said, very wise, and very dedicated, and I thank you. So on behalf of the Glen Ridge Board of Education, I do have a plaque to present you. We do have several others to recognize tonight. First, I want to recognize Dr. Clooney Mendez, who has put in her letter of retirement. So at the end of the school year, she will be retiring. Dr. Mendez started teaching in Glen Ridge in 1999. She is a graduate of Glen Ridge High School. I had the pleasure of working together in the math department with her. She has served as a mathematics program leader for a number of years. She's the AP Calculus teacher, which always has a bunch of seniors stressed out in May, but she manages that group very well, and she's always proud of what they've accomplished. Over the years in Glen Ridge, she has coached softball, tennis, basketball, and has been the statistician for the football team. Recently, I just spoke about her accomplishment of completing the New York City Marathon. She earned her doctoral degree by teaching full-time. She's a proud graduate and an even more successful educator here in Glen Ridge, and I want to wish her the best in her remaining days as a teacher in Glen Ridge High School. And I have 6 teachers I'd like to recognize for 25 years of service, and if you think about that, that's amazing, of how many students they've influenced, what they've experienced in this district. 25 years ago, Bill Clinton was president. Disney released Hercules, and the infamous Holyfield-Tyson match happened. So for those who are old enough to remember, that's a long time ago. And we had these individual teachers start their career here, which is serving 25 years in one district is not that common anymore. And I really am proud of what they've accomplished as educators, as employees, but more so as mentors and really shaping the future of the children of Glen Ridge. So I first want to recognize the 2 individuals that are here. Lisa Jacobson, who works as a learning consultant at Linden, and Alice Roberts. The other 4 staff members who has achieved 25 years of service is Heather Kobolinski, who is a SAC counselor for the district, Laura Zepp, a Spanish teacher at the high school, Cindy Short, who works in our business office, and Rose Marie Cancelleri, who is a aide down at Linden Avenue School. So congratulations to those 4 individuals.
And I think, yes, a round of applause for all of them. These teachers and these educators are the backbone of our system. So thank you to those who are here. Thank you I will send my thanks to those who aren't here, but invaluable. This night is the celebration of invaluable people.
We have several student achievements I want to recognize, and I hope I don't steal any Collins' thunder. I want to congratulate the new inductees of the Math Honor Society. We had 10 new students who were accepted by the volunteer EMT squad. Mia Bresler, a junior at the high school, received a Youth Leadership Award from New Jersey Chinese Teachers Association for her excellent leadership in the Chinese Club and the Chinese Honor Society. Recently, more than 4,000 students' work from 47 different states and Canada were displayed at the National Chinese Expo Student Work. Our Chinese 2 students became finalists with their video production. All students were invited to a live online showcase. Our freshman, Koji Sawa, gave a speech at the closing ceremony of the event, so congratulations to our Chinese 2 students. I want to congratulate the wrestling team for winning their tournament at the start of the season. I want to wish all our winter sports the best. And the primary schools are going through their winter concert circuit, which starts on Wednesday, I believe, with Central School. And that transitions in nicely to our Central School update, which will be presented by Dr. Keisha Harris.
all of you you. So let's get started. Let's talk a little bit about year 2. Year 1, lots of fun, bells and whistles. Did not have a full building, but now we do. You probably know our slogan. You've probably heard it, and if not, your children will bring it home to you shortly. Every morning, I greet your children with, "We like you, we love you, and we think the world of you," and on Fridays, we roar. Now, technically, cheetahs don't roar. They chirp, but your children are too young to know that. And I'm not telling them. All right. So let's first start off by honoring those who honor is due. I want to celebrate Miss Murak as our New Jersey Governor's Teacher of the Year, and also Miss Paula Horton, who's our reading specialist, and she is the New Jersey Governor's Educational Services Professional. Though they are not here, would it be too much if you give them just a quick round of applause? I know that they're watching. Thank you so much. Year 2, we are boasting a full building. Now, it's interesting because when I came from the high school with over 800 and some odd students, I'm down to 100 and about 53, which means at this point I know everyone's name. And it's wonderful to have littles in the building. We have added some new things, though. I have added a STEAM class to the schedule. So students in grades K through 2 now have science, technology, engineering, all of these great things happening once every 6-day cycle. They have their teacher and they have Miss Wujak, who then pushes in and she does really cool projects with them. We also have Switch It Up at lunchtime, which I'll talk to you a little bit more about, diversity lessons, parent volunteer opportunities, and we are looking forward to a new shade structure. I'll speak more about those. With challenges come opportunities to help us to shine, I'll say. We ran into a few challenges: shading the playground, maximizing the space that we have. Not complaints, but just opportunities to find new solutions. We found that we had some student challenges. After COVID, let's be honest, right? Our students were a little bit dysregulated. We found that there were socialization issues. Students had a lack of empathy, self-awareness, having a little bit of problems maintaining healthy relationships. So, instead of putting our heads in the sand, we decided to address it. Couple of things. First, a recess reset, which means that no longer can I open the door and say, "Everybody go outside and let's have recess and let's enjoy ourselves." We can't do that right now. What we can do, however, is group students according to their grade level within their grade, and we're creating play stations or playing opportunities for them that we can monitor, and that if students have an issue with playing, sharing, whatever it is, we can address it right then and there. Then we mix the kids up again, almost like a cohort, and we assign them other stations. This is helpful to us because students right now are unsure as to how to play, what to play. Next, calm classrooms. What does that mean? We want students to be centered, aware of themselves. We want them to listen to what it is they're feeling, and we want them to actively monitor that. Because our students are out of touch in some ways with their own selves, we needed a quick solution, in a sense, to get them to calm down, to focus, and to be at home within themselves. So, with the help of Home and School, thank you, Erica Spade, with with Home and School, all things are possible. So I asked for the Calm app. I don't know if you're aware of it. Many of us need it, quite frankly. We do. We need to calm down. And so with the Calm app, it provides teachers with the opportunity to put on meditative music or breathing exercises or to go through morning movement, whatever it is, even stories. And in the morning after the announcements, we have a 5 to 7 minute morning meditation. That helps us to get students who are dysregulated when they're coming in to reset themselves. So students with separation anxiety know that they have an opportunity in the classroom setting to sit, to breathe, and to connect. Then, after recess, this is usually my golden hour when I see my littles, because usually at recess there might be a little kerfuffle, a little misunderstanding. We used to call it drop everything and read. I now call it drop everything and reset. Students come in, and for 20 minutes, we have a scripted meditation. I chose a parent who is a therapist, I chose staff members, and I even have a student who helped us to script this in a way that was relevant for them. So we all, as a building, drop everything, myself included, and we breathe, meditate, we refocus. It's been interesting because I've been keeping a tally in regards to behaviors, in regards to, let's just, see, is this making any type of a difference? And what's interesting is that in the morning, I'm finding that there's less refusal. And even in the morning when I have some refusal, when a student sits with me for the morning meditation, I can quickly get them back into class. And at recess time, same thing is happening. Numbers have dropped drastically as students now learn how to empathize, think about it. Now, it's not perfect, and it's going to take time. However, I'm finding some success. Also, we have a building-wide emphasis and focus on empathy throughout this entire school year. It is necessary for us to be aware of how others are feeling, because a lot of times we're very self-centered. So students get lessons from our social emotional learning counselor. They push into the classroom and they teach these lessons. We also have lunch bunch groups. Also, we have a building-wide focus on the zones of regulation. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but it helps students to self-regulate and to track exactly where they are in terms of zones. Are they in the red zone, over emotional and excited? Are they in the blue zone, depressed, weary? Or are they in the green zone, ready to go? So with calibrating our focus, we have lots of activities. I'm not going to read through them all because it's better for me to show you rather than to read through all of them. Right, Barbara? Exactly. Let's get to the fun part, the kids. So at the beginning, you can see we got, some mascots going on here. And I told this parent I was going to put his picture up here, so it's okay. So we start, hey, if you give me the opportunity, I'm going to put you up. So we have a very healthy and wonderful home and school association. Our pizza party this year, our welcome back pizza party, was too big for us to hold at our own school, so we went ahead and got another field. Your children are making the announcements. This is healthy for them, it's good for their self-esteem, and helps them to have a voice. It's their school. We want them to make the announcements. We are gardening. Now, I'll be honest with you, I am not a good gardener, not at all. However, the students have taught me to get a lot better. I even grew an eggplant. It was really small, but it was still alive, and that's really all I'm gonna say about that. I'm not done. And, kidding, our pumpkin walk. I really, really love the creativity of our students. We opened up our pumpkin walk, put it indoors so that we didn't have to worry about weather. Thankfulness, big for me, big for them. And it's important for us to realize, right, that we're privileged, that we also have a lot to be thankful for, even in our community. You can see our hallways, beautifully decorated. We love to have our Friendsgiving. And you can see parent volunteers in the background as well. I know I have a lot of slides. Okay, mindfulness in action. Here are a couple of the classrooms I kind of crept in while they were doing their mindfulness activities, just to try to get a few pictures, and then the kids told me to get out, basically. They did. They were like, get out, Dr. Harris, we're meditating. All right, and again, you can catch us in action in one of the classrooms, at least once or twice a week, with our zones of regulation. We're going to continue to repeat this and stress this to students because we want teachers and students to get it and for it to be something that's automatic and knowing what to do to move from zone to zone. Lunchtime, we switch it up. Again, great for their socialization, sit with new friends, make new friends, and learn how to negotiate with new friends. STEAM. I did have a video, but it wouldn't upload. STEAM projects, some of them are outside. They were doing rockets outside. They do paper origami. They've done building projects. They've done paper making. And Home and School also is raising money for our STEAM program. Diversity. So we've had Diwali, we've had Hanukkah, we've had Christmas, we've had parents coming in to present cultures, and we celebrate it, and we invite them. And because we had some weariness from students about officers, I decided to do Snack with the Detective. So Detective Ray comes in during the month, and he meets with each of our classes from pre-K all the way up to grade 2. He has snack with them. They ask him all kinds of questions. Some I do not envy, but he answers. And they enjoy him. And then I want to say we also did Week of Code. Thanks again to our Home and School Association. Mr. Doyle came in, and every class got a lesson on coding. My favorite was about a cat eating a taco. And these are the things we're still doing. So everything that we were doing last year, and remember, we also draft with Forest Avenue School in Linden, we're still doing now. Those things have not changed. And last, this is where I spent my afternoon, listening to our students prepare for our winter concert. And the song that I like, and I think you will too, they aggressively sang a song called Candy Cane. And I mean, it was aggressive. And so I'm looking forward to it. I hope that many of you will come out to see us. We're going to be at Ridgewood Avenue School in the afternoon on Wednesday. And I thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Harris. I think that if we could import that program to the State House, it would be helpful.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. Lastly, I just want to wish everyone a happy holidays, and hopefully everyone has a peaceful break.
Okay, we've now reached the first public comment period for comments on agenda items. If you have a public comment, we follow a protocol, which most of you know, but I'll repeat it just in case. Please step up to the lectern, sign yourself in, let us know your name, confirm your Glen Ridge residence and any affiliation that you might have. The time limit is 2 minutes. Kristen, will you be my timer? Kristen will be my timer. And if you have a number of comments or questions, please say them all at once, and we will try to get to them in the order that you've given them. And know that if you have more to say, we have a second public comment period at the end. And also, if you have anything in writing, please give it to Mrs. Murphy so that it can be included in the record. Does anyone have a public comment? No? I thought you were raising your hand. Okay. Anyone? All right. We will continue with our agenda. We did not do committee and liaison reports last time, so I will say if anyone has one, we can go around, but we'll start with Colin because he is on the end and he always waits so patiently through everything that we have to do. So Colin, it's up to you.
The past few weeks have been busy as Glen Ridge enters the holiday season. Last Friday, the Student Council hosted a winter pep rally, which was the first of its kind since before COVID. The captains of the winter sports teams organized activities, and the pep band provided live music. This led into a big weekend for Glen Ridge sports, with the wrestling team having major success. Stacy Bloomfield won the Garfield Girls Tournament on Friday with 4 first-period pins and came in 5th in the largest girls tournament in state history at Bloomfield High. She was 9-1 on the weekend. At the Irvington Holiday Tournament on Saturday, the team won first place with 5 gold, 1 silver, and 3 bronze medals. Josh Schumann won the fastest pin award in the heavyweight final. Congratulations to everyone involved with the GR wrestling team. In other news, the Drama Club put on 2 great performances of Miracle on 34th Street this past weekend. Other clubs and organizations have also been busy with their own events as we approach the end of the year. We're glad to see how far we've come in the return to normal, especially in the winter at this time of year. As we go forward with the holiday break approaching, the student community wishes happy holidays to all of Glen Ridge.
Thank you. And now we'll go around. Michael, you made your big report, but anything else to report?
I don't have anything else to report.
Okay. Jocelyn.
Just the Grace meeting is happening on January 11th, so you can mark your calendars, and the Ridgewood Home and School meeting for January hasn't been set yet.
Okay. Kristen, anything? No. Duval.
Yes, just that the Forest Avenue Home and School will meet on the 3rd of January. But they
Okay, thank you. Anthony, nothing? Tracy.
Yes, I just wanted to report on a couple of things. The Glen Ridge Educational Foundation met last Monday, December 12th, and went over some grant applications. And also talked a bit about the race, although they haven't finalized numbers yet. There were just shy of 4,000 entrants between the 2 races on Thanksgiving Day. And they were very pleased with the results, so I'm sure next month I'll have some concrete numbers to share. Also, the central school meeting for December was postponed until January. And lastly, the Personnel and Policy Committee met last Friday, December 16th. We discussed open positions that are currently being filled. We discussed sort of the budget and wish list for personnel items for 2023-2024 school year. And we discussed 2 policies. One, the new chain of command reorg chart, and also some slight revisions to the BOE appointment protocols for board members. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. I went to the Glen Ridge High School Home and School Association meeting on November 17th, and I'll be brief about this. Some of the things that we discussed were timely at the time and are no longer timely. But Mr. Lawler did thank the Home and School for the National Education Week events, commented in a very positive way on the appointment of Mr. Phoenix, who's here with us tonight. Welcome. We talked about the photo teacher opening and also the reassignment of staff to cover the yearbook, which very important. We talked a little bit about revisiting security protocols. We've been preoccupied with COVID and been out of school, but I think all buildings, including high school, are revisiting security protocols. We talked about guidance to the college presentation, and we'll be having a spring college event, college fair. Ms. O'Donnell gave a report on the middle school. They're revising student meeting protocols, pre-cycle classes. They're doing peer tutoring. Peer leadership is dealing with respect and time management. The students are setting up on Naviance for study skills and learning techniques. And let's see, there was a middle school movie night. There will be a winter social. Mr. Majewski is arranging that. And the student council was supporting a food drive. And then Mr. Hill gave a report on the successful fall sports season, and Mr. Phillips has covered most of that. The driver's ed exam is online, and he talked about the upcoming, now past Drama Club presentation. And then I went to the Glen Ridge Diversity and Inclusion Association meeting just the other day. And that was rather fun. They talked about something called dumpling diplomacy at Tony's Kitchen, where volunteers go and make dumplings. They talked about an upcoming service day for Martin Luther King Day. And they're hoping to get out the newsletter before the break. Don't know how that's going, but that was their hope. They talked about a holiday caravan drive-through on Sunday, December 11th, celebrating Hanukkah, Christmas, and Kwanzaa. and hope that that was apparently very successful. And they're going to be co-presenting a presentation in collaboration with AAPI Montclair for a celebration of the Lunar New Year that will take place on January 28th. And they also mentioned that our students can sign up for the GRDIA mailing list, and they are going to try to encourage that, I think, by way of their newsletter. And those are my reports. David, anything?
Just that the Finance and Facilities Committee met, I think, on December 2nd, and you'll see most of the things that we discussed have found their way into the business items in tonight's agenda, or were on the among the business items on our last meeting.
Okay, thank you. All right, board members, you had in your packets minutes
Betsy,
from.
I'm sorry, before we wrap up, I did want to mention that the Linden Home and School meeting will occur on Wednesday, January 11th.
Okay.
I just found the date.
Thank you. All right, we have in our packets minutes from November 21st, exec session and regular session. Does anyone have any changes to those minutes? All right, Barbara, would you call the, I'm sorry, Michael, may I have a motion to accept the minutes?
Yes, I'll move M1.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second from David. Seeing as how there's no comment, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Mr. Bonnet?
Aye.
Mr. Campbell?
Aye.
Mr. DeLu?
Aye.
Ms. Gottlieb?
Aye.
Ms. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. O'Neill?
Aye.
Ms. St. Aubern?
Aye.
Ms. Spade?
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, administrative items. Mr. Campbell, would you move the administrative items?
I move A1 through A4.
Okay, may I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. DeLu, who will either move or second everything tonight since it's his last night. Any questions or comments on the administrative items, the nursing services plan, et cetera?
I just wanted to say, the nursing services plan it's like a one-sentence thing on the board agenda, but reading through it, it's like, I don't know, a 60 or 70-page document, and it's really just amazing to me as a board member to see all of the things that our nurses are responsible for, and I just think it should be recognized that it's not just working with the students who are sick in school, which would be enough of a job, but the administrative overlay, the ongoing attention that they're paying to students who have medical conditions is just incredibly substantial, and I just wanted to give them a big thank you.
Thank you. That I agree. School nurses are responsible for more than anybody knows, and it would be probably, it's kind of frightening to think of all the what they're responsible for that they do every day effortlessly, so it seems. Okay, administrative items, there are no questions or comments. Barbara, would you call the roll?
Mr. Bonnet?
Aye.
Mr. Campbell?
Aye.
Mr. DeLu?
Aye.
Ms. Gottlieb?
Aye.
Ms. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. O'Neill?
Aye.
Ms. St. Aubern?
Aye.
Ms. Spade?
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Tracy, would you move the personnel items?
Yes, I move P1 through P8, which includes items for P7, B, C, and D, which are on the addendum.
Okay, may I have a second?
Second.
Second from Anthony. In keeping with our rules, personnel items are discussed in executive session. Does anyone know of any reason why we shouldn't vote now on personnel? All right, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Mr. Bonnet?
Aye.
Mr. Campbell?
Aye.
Mr. DeLu?
Aye.
Ms. Gottlieb?
Aye.
Ms. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. O'Neill?
Aye.
Ms. St. Aubern?
Aye.
Ms. Spade?
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Michael, would you move the curriculum item?
Yes, I move C1.
All right, may I have a second?
I'll second. Duval.
Second from Duval. Any questions on the field trips? Okay, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Mr. Bonnet?
Aye.
Mr. Campbell?
Aye.
Mr. DeLu?
Aye.
Ms. Gottlieb?
Aye.
Ms. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. O'Neill?
Aye.
Ms. St. Aubern,
Aye.
Ms. Spade,
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, before we move the business items, I draw your attention to item B5, which is donations. We received a monetary donation from the Linden Avenue Home and School Association in the amount of about $1,300 for replacement of speakers in the multipurpose room. Monetary donation from the Glenridge Home and School Association, which we celebrated with that large-sized check last time for about $37,000. A donation of cleaning supplies, nitrile gloves, and hand sanitizers from the Essex County Sheriff's Office, and a baby grand piano valued at $10,000 from a Glenridge resident. So thank you to all our generous donors. We live and die by generous donations, so thank you to all. And now, David, would you move the business items?
I move B1 through B10.
Okay, may I have a second?
Second.
Second from Michael. Any questions from the board or comments on the business items? All right, that being the case, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Mr. Bonnet,
Aye.
Mr. Campbell,
Aye.
Mr. DeLuke,
Aye.
Ms. Gottlieb,
Aye.
Ms. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. O'Neill,
Aye.
Ms. St. Aubern,
Aye.
Ms. Spade,
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, we've come to the second public comment period for comments on agenda or other items pertaining to the running of the schools. Does anyone have a comment or question?
I think this is a first. No comments in either part.
All right. Ad hoc comments there. All right, that being the case, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Moved.
Moved by Michael. May I have a second?
Second.
Second. Happy holidays to all, and thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure serving with you.